What's up, y'all? It's your girl Cornelia back with another episode of Black News, a podcast where we break down current events, hot topics, and local stories involving Black people. Now let's get into it. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. This D'Angelo news it's tearing me up. It's really tearing me up. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. It's really tearing me up. The day I'm recording this is the day that D'Angelo has passed away. Y'all, it's so many thoughts going through my head right now, and it's so much to process because we are getting older, right? And in case you do not know, you a Black News listener that is not familiar, D'Angelo is probably the or one of the pioneers of neo soul music, Black music. You can debate it if you look at the timeline, the impact, if you look at the trend and what was happening in the 1990s around R&B and neo soul. It is safe to assume that I will put him and Erykah Badu as the two people that pioneered or kick-started neo soul off. He is also, I will say, arguably one of the most innovative, creative, um, ethereal, he just has it all. Just got it. Play all the instruments, just got it all. But D'Angelo has passed away. And y'all, I don't know why it's tearing me up like this. I don't know why. And so backing it up, D'Angelo was 51 years old. He was dealing with a private battle with pancreatic cancer, and he passed today. Born Michael Eugene Archer. He was known for, and outside of the music, D'Angelo was known for just disappearing, right? He was one of those true entertainers that kind of just go away and reappear, right? Which I appreciate. And people, you be like, where is so and so? Where is the music? Like Sade. We don't know what Sade doing. We don't know where she at. We don't know what she got going on. We don't know if she performing. We don't know if it's a new tour. They just one day pop up and with some new music or performance. She was like, oh shoot. D'Angelo was that way. So it was a shock when you wake up and there's a statement saying that he has went on and transitioned. Also, a point while I'm thinking about it and real quick, Erykah Badu posted on Threads maybe a few days ago talking about D'Angelo and how important he is and how much of a friend she is. And it came out of nowhere and it seemed really interesting. Now, today, it makes sense. It all makes sense. That post looking back, it looked like someone who knew their friend was in the process of transitioning and was fighting a battle that they probably wouldn't go win. So the statement from the family, it says, the shining star of our family has dimmed his light for us in this life. After a prolonged and courageous battle with cancer, we are heartbroken to announce that Michael D'Angelo Archer, known to his fans around the world as D'Angelo, has been called home, departing this life today, October 14th, 2025. We are saddened that he can only leave dear memories with his family, but we are eternally grateful for the legacy of extraordinarily moving music he leaves behind. We ask that you respect our privacy during this difficult time, but invite you all to join us in mourning his passing while also celebrating the gift of song that he has left for the world. Also adding before I keep going, Angie Stone, which was one of D'Angelo's girlfriends, romantic partners, lovers, friends. She passed this year as well. They share a son together. They have a son. So Angie Stone and D'Angelo are both gone. Like this dog, life is so crazy. I wrote in my journal last night. I feel like maybe one of the reasons why this is really tearing me up. I'm getting back into journaling. just before I go to bed, just writing down a few things. Nothing too crazy. I'm just starting off. Some nights I don't have nothing to say, and I don't even acknowledge that. But last night, maybe a few hours before I journaled, I log into Facebook, peeked around, see what's going on over there. Cause it's a whole nother world over to down to the Facebook now. I peeked over there. And y'all know how Facebook has that page that reminds you about people's birthdays? I clicked on that and stacked on top of each other October 12th birthdays and October 13th birthday were two friends of mine who passed away over the past year plus. Both Black women in their 40s. Literally, soon as I clicked on the page, they were right next to each other. One birthday the 12th, one birthday the 13th. And it hit me dead in my chest. It kind of knocked the wind out of me to look at that and to have that put in front of your face like, oh, damn, it's unbelievable, right? It immediately and quickly puts life into perspective. Memories start to swirl, emotions start to stir up. Reality slaps your ass in the face. It slapped me, kicked me dead in my chest. And so, but when I journaled last night, I said something to the effect of, I logged into Facebook today and I see right next to each other the birthdays, pictures of two of women that I at some points in my life that I've called friends, good friends, colleagues, you name it. And they both passed away in their 40s. Then I wrote, life is short, live it. Go to sleep, wake up. One of the first things I see, D'Angelo, age 51, passed away. And again, not to say these are all connected, but I think this is probably, yes, I was one of the, love D'Angelo and his music. But I think the totality of seeing that last night and seeing that today and seeing and really putting life in perspective, it just is tearing me up. It is really tearing me up. People do not be making it, y'all. And 51 is so young. There's a list floating around social media that acknowledges or highlights how a lot of Black men in entertainment and music specifically have been passing away at a young age. And I don't care what people say, 51, 46, whatever, that's young. That is young. This was the post that said it, because I was like, yo, I just tear me up, y'all. It was to tear it up. These are some of the Black male artists who weren't able to reach 60 years old. DMX is 50, Coolio 59, MF Doom 49, Craig Mack 47, Nate Dogg 41, Prodigy 42, Shock G 57, Black Rob 51, Irv Gotti 54, DJ Mr. C 57, Rico Wade 52, Fife Dog 45, Biz Markie 57, D'Angelo 51. Y'all, that what's going on? What's going on? It's just, it's just really, y'all, and so let me read a little bit about D'Angelo just so we can remember who he was. Because, like I mentioned before, I am a believer that D'Angelo was one of the true pioneers. And I don't think anybody would argue with that. Some things you can debate, right? Some things, I talked about this before, you could debate certain things. I don't know if it's debatable that D'Angelo is one of the pioneers of neo soul, the neo soul genre. I don't think that's debatable. And if you do debate it, it can be all in fun, but maybe the facts are the facts. Okay, that's the truth. But he was born in Richmond, Virginia. Had many different albums, all different, all fantastic, all unique in their own way, all stamping or solidifying where of course he was in time, but where we as black people and black consumers of music were in time. Because even when you think about it, Brown Sugar came out in 1995, Voodoo in 2000, and Black Messiah in 2014. Brown Sugar had the vibe and the tone, and that's what we was on in 94. It was, the music was, that was when black movies were still being made. That's when um and I say still because it had its ups and downs. So it was making a resurgence, right? That's when the black rom-coms at least still had a chance. That was us, coming right after Spike Lee and John Singleton was breaking through, really breaking through. Songs on that album, it just really spoke to us, right? It spoke to just the moment. It was so 90s. It was so 90s neo soul. Brown Sugar, Me and Those Dreaming Eyes of Mine, Shit Damn Motherfucker, Cruising. It was just Lady. I mean, just flawless, right? It was so 90s. Then you talk about Voodoo. Voodoo was came out in 2000. It had Devil's Pie, Left and Right, Send It On. Send It On, y'all. Oh, How Does It Feel, Untitled. Those are just some of the few. And even the video for Untitled, How Does It Feel? It spoke to 2000s. That was around that time where we were coming out of the 90s R&B era, where you had the baggy clothes, the Jodeci boots. That was a vibe and a feeling, the aesthetic. It was very specific to the time, right? Nothing like the 80s, nothing like the 70s. It was its own genre. And then the 2000s was really about sex appeal. That's when the sexy R&B dudes really was around. Tyrese and them, you shirt off, greased up in the video. And when D'Angelo dropped that out of the real video, child, let me tell you something, okay? It changed the game. Now, we now know later on that he actually did not like how he was sexualized after the fact due to that video. He liked the video, but the reaction to it, he did not like it and appreciate it, which I can understand and respect. But the brother was looking good. But let's just keep that in mind, because it speaks to how some artists lean in different directions. Some embrace that, and some, they don't want their shirt off. It's about the music. The brother played every instrument: drums, guitar, piano, the bass, you name it. He was out here. Then disappeared for a while. We ain't know where D'Angelo was. He was touring, he did some shows, was doing jazz festivals very sporadically. Very sporadically. This is also not including some of the collaborations he had with Raphael Sadiq, because Don't Let You Should Be Here was my song. But he then popped back up out of nowhere in 2014 with Black Messiah. And I'm not remembering specifically what was going on with us at the time culturally, but I remember specifically feeling like this album is important. And just even looking at the critical reception online, 5 stars, 4 stars, 9 out of 10s, 9 out of 10s, 9 out of 10s. Like, it was refreshing. It was crisp. It was genre fluid. It was very D'Angelo, but it was also innovative, but it felt classic and old, if that makes sense. So just musically, he just was one of a kind. He also, again, when we talk about neo soul and the impact, he was a part of Soul Aquarians. And that whole era, right, of them, there was a picture going around that had, that's him, Most Def, Talib Kweli, Common, Erica Badu, Questlove, Dwelle, Bilal. It's just, it just speaks to what music was and what they were able to create during that time. So, this, while it is sad, it is also offering us an opportunity to appreciate the music and appreciate what has been done as far as legacy. But yeah, y'all, I just don't, 51 is not old. It's not old. And because it's not old, and us, the consumer, our generation, Gen X, elder millennials and millennials, in general, we're so attached to some of this music. If you're a music person, this is just, it's stuff like this is just, it's difficult. It's really difficult. It's just difficult. Not to say that other people passing isn't difficult, but I don't know. I think for me, all of that together, what I mentioned, it just magnifies the situation. But we are thankful for D'Angelo because baby, the legacy. Oh, y'all, chef's kiss. When you talk about leaving a mark and legacy and contributions, this is what you're talking about. He only had 3 albums, and shout out to him writing the song "Black for Black Men United" off the Jason's Lyric soundtrack. You will know, okay? Wrote that when he was 18 years old. Go to YouTube and type in Black Men United. You will know the video and the live version because they sung it at the American Music Awards. They got all of those black men together to sing that song. And again, that was another perfect moment in time because they were singing their asses off. Something to the point I don't think people could repeat it because they don't really be singing like they used to be singing. Shout out to Gerald Levert. He was up in there too. Rest in peace to that brother. There's a lot of people who went on to be with him that was there too. Which again, it's just unfortunate. But yeah, let me know your thoughts about it. This unfortunate loss to music and to black art and to the culture. Also, let me know your thoughts about who you think, if you agree that D'Angelo was probably one of the pioneers of the neo soul genre. Okay, what do you, and if it's not him, who is it? And if it is him, who else was it? I think it put the two at the top, Erykah Badu and D'Angelo with adjacent Lauryn Hill. I'm gonna put her adjacent to it because Miseducation of Lauryn Hill skewed that way a little bit, but because of her time with the Fugees, I'm gonna move her out of it. I'm gonna say she walking the line. But let me know. Let me know what you think. You can hit me up and find me at Cornelia on social media. The WNBA finals were last week, and the Las Vegas Aces won. Shout out to the Aces. Y'all know I love supporting the WNBA. I think I'm gonna look into it. I might want to get season tickets or something. Now it's not in the good seats because they expensive. I ain't got it like that. But I do want to start going to more games and supporting. But specifically, I'm calling this out because shout out to Asia Wilson. I really like her. I really admire Asia Wilson. And I am bringing this up because I want us, and I think it's happening. I want us to start putting her name in conversation about best basketball players of all time. Now, people gonna have that conversations when they start comparing the women's and the men's game and all of this stuff. But when you talk about reliability, delivering, and overall talent and skill set, baby, Asia is setting herself up to be the best WNBA player that has ever existed. And we got some hoopers up in there. If you taking it all the way back, okay, at least Leslie Candace Parker. You talking about Cheryl Swoops and all of them. Brianna you talking about all of them. Asia is setting herself up to claim it. This year alone, she is a WNBA champion. She is the finals MVP. She is the league MVP and defensive player of the year. I think they saying the only person, if there's some accolade or some stack up that they're saying that only person that has ever achieved that is Bill Russell. Y'all, Bill Russell? No, Asia, she be hooping. Okay. This is some of her other things that she's done. Okay. 4-time WNBA most valuable player. 2020, 2022, 24, 25. 3-time WNBA defensive player of the year. 22, 23, and 25. 2-time WNBA champion. No, I'm sorry. 3-time. 2022, 23, and 25. Finals MVP 23, 25. All-Star 5 times. WNBA first team 3 times. Rookie of the year 2018. She only been playing since 2018. She got the scoring title 2022. 5-time WNBA blocks leader. She got the best WNBA player at the ESPYs. 2-time Olympic gold medalist. Y'all, this girl, college NBA NCAA champion. Shout out to Don Staley. And on and on and on. I just wanted to highlight her because seeing how she handles herself, she's also an AKA. Shout out to the Stinky Pinkies, Divine Nine in the building. I just really appreciate the conversation that we're having around Asia Wilson. And she just seems like a really nice person. Down to earth, cool, good attitude. Everybody that I know that's met her has said nothing but fantastic things. Don't No ego, just a good person. So I just wanted to highlight that real quick before we jump into the next topic. Let me know your thoughts about it, and if you thought that the Aces was gonna win, because I don't really follow the WNBA like super, like a lot, like super a lot. You know what I'm trying to say. But because I like Asia, I did want the Aces to win this year, so I'm happy, hey, that they won. Otherwise, I'm just rooting for everybody black. Hit me up though. Let me know your thoughts about it. You can find me at Canelia on social media. Now, I think y'all know I don't watch the Real Housewives of anything. Okay. I don't watch it. I in Atlanta, Potomac, whatever. I don't like, and I'm very uncomfortable when I see like scenes with people like arguing or fighting or bickering. I don't like it. It makes my anxiety go through the roof. I hate it. Also, don't like conflict for myself. I hate conflict. Ooh, I hate it. Not to say I ain't going about that action when it's time though. Like, hey, now don't play with me. But I just don't like it. But I'm chronically online. So I know about all of the franchises, well, most. And I can give you high level bullet points based on what I see all the time on social media, right? I can tell you what's going on generally, what the drama was. Like that whole Candy and Phaedra situation. When Phaedra said that lie and can't and got booted off the show, I can tell you about that. I can tell you why people mad at Kenya. I can tell you what was going on with Cynthia. I know Karen that went down to the jail, just got on, went down to the jail, just got out. I know Candace ain't on the Candace is still on it, but what's her name got left the show and now she's divorced from her husband because again I'm chronically online. I can tell you what's going on. I know also one of the housewives was home is a Hampton alum and is a stinky pinky. Shout out to Gamma Theta. I can tell you that. So I'm only giving y'all this update and reporting on this because it's so popular and so many people are talking about it. And that is the fact that Wendy Osefo and her husband Eddie got arrested on fraud charges, y'all. They done took them down to the penitentiary. They was in the slammer. Okay, they done went down to the slammer. Now, apparently, it is a thing for some housewives to be getting locked up. Okay, going to the pokey is not shocking. On different franchise, people that went to jail for many different reasons. Again, I just mentioned how Karen was in there off the DUI and just got out. But this one is a big deal because people weren't expecting this. Wendy, apparently, allegedly, Wendy and Eddie align themselves or present themselves as people who likely would not get caught up in something like this. She's highly educated, multiple degrees. Eddie got a lot going on himself. Nice family, nice home, good background. So you wouldn't necessarily, at least from my perspective, not watching the show, would not assume that they're gonna get popped for fraud. They also seem smart enough to know if you try to pull something, you're probably gonna get caught. The cops are out here, okay? They're the cops. So it seems to be very shocking for people. So I'm gonna read the article and points of it because when the news first broke, when the article was like it was a fraud up to $300, and people was like, they got a mugshot for $300. What are you talking about? No, baby, it's more than that. So they were arrested on October 9th on insurance fraud charges. They each posted $50,000 bond and were released from custody the following day, saying in a statement. that they look forward to their day in court. Now, this is what we know. Again, Wendy and her husband, both 41 years old, living in Maryland. They were charged with giving false information in excess of $300. Wendy is facing 7 felony counts, and Eddie is looking at 9, plus 8 misdemeanor counts of conspiracy to give false information in excess of $300, as well as a misdemeanor count of making a false statement to an officer. Y'all, felony charges. Oh, that's the slammer. Oh. The next hearing case is tentatively scheduled for November 7th. Now, they have not yet entered a plea, but they acknowledge the charges after their release from custody. It says, per the article, Dr. Wendy Osefo and her husband, Edward Osefo, are back home safely with their family and are in good spirits. They are grateful for the outpouring of concern and support from friends, fans, and colleagues. The Osefos, alongside their legal team, look forward to their day in court. At this time, they respectfully ask for privacy as they focus on their family and the legal process ahead. Now, authorities allege that the Osefos falsely reported to police and insurers that $450,000 worth of property was stolen from their home sometime between April 2nd and April 7th, 2024, while they were on vacation in Jamaica. I think I saw some social media posts about them having a break-in. The sheriff said during the press conference that detectives eventually concluded that Wendy and Eddie fabricated the burglary and filed a false report to defraud their insurance companies. Investigators were a little suspicious when they first responded to the couple's home, noting that deputies found no signs of forced entry or physical evidence of an intruder. They still investigated the case as a burglary, but weeks after the alleged incident, detectives saw photos Wendy had posted on social media in which she was wearing jewelry that matched items she had reportedly stolen, specifically a diamond anniversary band. Child, if you gonna say the jewelry ain't there, you can't wear the jewelry. If you say the jewelry gone, baby, you can't wear that. You can't wear it. I don't know what you're gonna do with it. You can't wear it. The couple provided receipts for the allegedly stolen items, but according to the sheriff, more than $20,000 worth of those items had previously been returned to their place of purchase. They can pull the receipts over down to the jewelry store. Maybe they could go down to the Gucci and the Louis Vuitton and they can pull the receipts of the return. Emails between Wendy and Eddie also provide evidence of fraud, the sheriff alleges, including a message reading, "Are there additional high value items we can add to this inventory list? I'm trying to get the total to exceed 423,000, which is our policy maximum." Babe. You gonna put the fraud in the email? You gonna say let's talk about it in the email. Y'all live together. You can just go downstairs into the TV room and be like, "Hey, you don't put it in you put it in the email." I don't. Then the article goes on to say, when deputies searched the Yosefo's house on the day they were arrested, they found another 15 items that had been reported stolen. You can't have them no more. Y'all, listen, I'm no criminal, okay? I do not be stealing. I don't got time for this. You ain't about, hey, I ain't gonna be in the slam. I don't have it. If I can't, I ain't doing it, okay? I remember during the pandemic, one of my friends was trying to get me over down to the claiming the PPE loan, the PPP, whatever. If you just fill it out and do this, you get the $20,000 loan and you ain't got to pay it back. You just say something, get an LLC and put the LLC on it. You ain't got to pay it back. I said, you know what? That don't sound good. I'm actually not going to do that because it's called a loan. And even though you're saying I'm not going to have to pay it back, I don't want to risk it. I'm pretty sure people are going to have to pay that back. Fast forward 1 to 2 years, people had to pay the loan back and was going to jail behind the loan, baby. If I ain't got it, I ain't got it. You listen. But maybe that's just me. And again, all this is allegedly, I'm just reading the papers. Okay. I'm just reading the alleged article that everything that's alleged that's going on. But I allegedly don't understand. I don't understand. Okay. So we'll see what happens with this because I don't know when they film. I don't know if they've already filmed. I'm pretty sure they already got the storyline packed with that Karen business and her going in for a little while and coming out. So this just gonna add on to it. I also am concerned because they have children and don't nobody got time to be going into the pokey. Don't nobody want to go in there. So who gonna watch the children? They mama and they like what is going to happen? This is awful. Two black people going like I just can't. Baby. I just can't. This is just unfortunate. I'm gonna wish for the best and hope they can beat the charges, baby. You can't touch me. No, you can't touch me. Try to charge me, but I'm not guilty. I can't sing that because it was by some. Oh, never mind. But y'all get the point. I just can't. Let me know if y'all following this. Or if y'all even care, want me to keep updating. Because again, I don't watch this, but everybody was talking about it over social media and it seems to be a big deal. So I, decided, hey, I'm going to say what's up. But it is unfortunate. And I hope this turns out in their favor because if they both go to jail, didn't that happen with somebody else in one of the franchises? Housewives, Jersey Shore, somebody went in. Both of them. The Chrisleys, was it them? I don't watch that, but I saw on social media. But let me know. Child, let me know. Ugh, I can't. You know where to find me. I'm at Cornelia on social media. On this week's episode of Black News, we talked about the unfortunate passing of neo soul and R&B legend D'Angelo at the age of 51. We also talked about Asia Wilson and how she is a fantastic basketball player and on track to becoming one of the, if not the best WNBA player of all time. And we also talked about the charges against Wendy Osefo and her husband in regards to potential or alleged fraud. Hit me up. Let me know your thoughts about all of these topics, Summer None, and I'll check back with you guys next time. That's it for this week's episode of Black News, y'all. Thanks again for supporting the podcast by sharing, liking, subscribing, and rating 5 stars on your favorite podcast app. To find more information about me, you can check me out at Cornelia on social media, as well as on my website, which is cornelia.com. And as always, thanks for supporting, and I'll be back next week with new topics and a new episode.